The kids out there on the interwebs are talking about Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. And the large consensus from the ones on the underground that I saw was, hey, before you get too excited about this fight, fans, before you start trying to give an analysis about Mike's power versus Roy's speed, please understand this is a cash grab. This will be an exhibition sparring, and these guys are both in on it. Okay, I have to stop you right there. Every time somebody boxes and the boxing fight doesn't go away that boxing fans thought it was going to go, they call for a fix. Boxing fights are very seldomly fixed, even back in the olden days where they were, but very seldomly were they fixed. They usually robbed a guy through the judges. There was something along the lines of that. These weren't just work matches. I mean, I have to tell you, before you come to this very lazy diatribe, that these guys are just going to go out there and move around and there's no legacy and they don't care and whatever they can run off with is theirs. I have to tell you, there is nothing more shameful within the sport, and you're talking about two of the greats in the history of the sport. If you think that at some point in Mike Tyson's life, he's just going to sail one in and give a big middle finger to the fans and not take a competition that he swore to take seriously, I mean, that would just disappoint me. I would be so disappointed. I'd be stunned. That would be illegal. That would be against the law if this goes through a commission, which, by the way, they're carrying odds and people are parting with their money for it. It'd be completely illegal. You might still be a big on it. Go, yeah, but it's Mike's last time. What does he care? They're going to take his license away. So wait, well, it's not Roy's last time. I don't think. I mean, Roy's been pretty busy. Roy's been pretty active. Roy's got his own promotional company. You know, Roy Jones Jr. Boxing, sometimes he shows up. I don't believe that he's going to want to go out like that either. These guys are competitors. It feels to me like that's very dismissive. And it doesn't feel to me like it's the first time I've heard this narrative. When Conor went out and beat up Floyd Mayweather for 30 minutes, a sport that he had never done before, round after round being robbed from him by Nevada State Athletic Commission, people came back and they tried to rewrite it and say, well, Floyd was carrying him. Floyd wanted some action and he wanted it to go. That's just not what happened. It just shows a real silliness. You can't do that. They would take your license away. No unarmed combat athlete would ever do that. Nobody in armed combat would do that. You ever heard of somebody that was overseas or something fighting in a war and they go, well, you know, we could have ended that a lot quicker, but we thought we'd have a little cat and mouse with it. I mean, it's insane. And now people are talking about these guys are going to go out and they got some kind of a, elbow, wink, wink with each other. If any part of what you're saying is right, if that turns out to be true, there needs to be action taken against them. But there's nothing within history of Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. that would lead you to that conclusion. There's nothing within their trainers or their camps. There's nothing about these guys walking out in front of an audience where they ever try to do anything within their lives other than get their hand raised. I have no evidence where I can prove to you empirically that what I am saying is right. I guess I'm just a fan speaking to other fans to let you know if you're right. And they're going to do anything other than compete and try to win. That would really let me down.